In my understanding of Christ's teachings, taking care of the poor and the sick were of the utmost importance, and so I was hoping both of you could talk about why you don't think that universal health care is a very important issue to Christians these days. Thank you.
Wow, universal health care. Well, it depends what you mean by take care of the health of everybody. Yes, of course, we're all in favor of that. Everybody should have health insurance. Insurance goes back centuries, the idea. It's a great idea. The question is, who should pay for it? How should this be paid for? What's the most efficient way to make sure everybody gets that coverage? And that's just, I think that's more of a political issue than a Christian religion moral issue.
Yeah, I think there's also the question of, I think the question is often ignored in these contexts is that whenever the government is involved, there's an element of compulsion.
Yes.
And the effect of compulsion is always to strip the virtue out of a transaction. If, Michael, if you and I are walking on the beach and I'm hungry and you have a sandwich, and I say, Michael, I'm hungry, give me your sandwich. And you say, yes, here it is. I say, thank you. Now, that's a moral transaction. You feel good about having done something good. I feel a sense of obligation. Maybe someday, if I'm doing well, I'll share my sandwich with somebody else. But now here's a third situation. You and I are walking on that same riverbank. I'm hungry. You have a sandwich. And here comes Obama on a horse. He gets off the horse, puts a gun to your head, and says, Michael, turn over the sandwich to Dinesh. And so you do. And then he puts his gun back and he drives away. Now, the outcome is the same. I mean, I have the sandwich. But the moral content of that transaction is completely different. You deserve no moral credit. You didn't give willingly. I don't even feel a sense of gratitude. I feel a sense of entitlement. I feel that you actually owe me 7 sandwiches, but you only gave me 1. So you can see how the whole thing is confused when you bring in the element of coercion.
Indeed. I should point out, just for the other side, their argument is that, for example, if we need to fund a military to protect our liberties from foreign countries, and you say, well, but that's an element of coercion, and you're going to take my taxes at the point of a gun and fund these military, and I don't want to do it, and the government shouldn't do that, then we're not going to have a military, and then we're going to be invaded, and then somebody else is going to put a gun to your head. Either way, there's going to be a certain element of coercion.
But even that doesn't fully work because the military does protect you and me both, whereas the taking of the sandwich to you, from you to me, hurts you and benefits me. So my point is any government that robs Peter to pay Paul can obviously keep counting on Paul's support.
Yes. That's the problem.
Okay, let's move to the next question.
Mr. D'Souza, you began with humans are bent or inherently morally imperfect. In the sandwich reference, you presumably believe that Obama should not hold the metaphorical gun to Sherman's head, that he will share that sandwich freely. If humans are not inherently moral, how is this a valid expectation, and why should Obama not hold the gun to Sherman's head, so to speak?
Mr. D'Souza?
Because the guy holding the gun is no better than the guy to whose head he's holding it to. So in other words, sure, Michael Shermer may be a selfish guy who wants to keep his sandwich. But nevertheless, let's consider the motives of the guy with the gun. Is he contributing his own sandwich? No. He's taking Michael Shermer's sandwich and giving it to someone else and then proclaiming himself to be a morally wonderful human being. Look, I'm not denying the core principle involved here, right? I'm simply saying that here we are as a country, and for 2 centuries we've had people pulling the wagon. And we recognize, and I would agree, that there is a group of people, and you can disagree about how many, but I would say about 10% of people who are weak and disadvantaged and need to sit in the wagon and have the rest of us pull that wagon. Okay? Now, again, you can disagree about how many people should be in the wagon, but that number of people has been increasing considerably. This was kind of what Romney's getting at, that at some point there are more people in the wagon than there are pulling. And then people who are pulling begin to think, well, maybe I should stop pulling and get in the wagon. It's kind of nicer in the wagon. And what my criticism of Obama is, instead of saying, listen, I really want to thank the people who are pulling the wagon, he goes, the people who are pulling the wagon are greedy, selfish, and materialistic. And the people sitting in the wagon are wonderful. He is morally demonizing the wagon pullers and championing the superior morality of the guys who are sitting in there. And all I'm saying is this is an inverted morality. The guys who are actually contributing to help the disadvantaged, these are the sacrificial people of our society, and they're the ones who deserve a little more credit.
Next question, please.